All right, so I have this question here from Divine. And before I read Divine's question, I just want to encourage you, if you have questions for me, if you are listening to me on the podcast right now, and you have questions, please feel free to, to contact me to join my Telegram group. My Telegram group is a community where I answer questions. It's a Q&A community. And so if you have questions, please join my Telegram community. It's called the TA community. And I'll take your questions. I take a lot of questions from my Telegram group. But then if you have a more private question where it's a personal thing, you don't want to share with anyone, you feel like this thing, you just want to talk with me directly, you can contact me on WhatsApp. My number is +234 80232 66249. Feel free to reach out to me if you have a personal question, a private question. Although I must say this, I attend to questions on my Telegram community faster than I do personal ones. So if you're asking me a private question, you might have to wait a while. I might not get back to you immediately. But if you're on my Telegram group, I visit that almost every day, look at the questions and things like that. So please put that in mind. So thank you very much, Divine, for your question. And if you're on the Telegram community already, please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free. Don't feel shy. Don't feel like your question is silly. Your question doesn't make sense. Sometimes the question that you think makes no sense is the one that everybody has on their mind. So please feel free to reach out if you have a question. So I'm going to read Divine's question right now. It says, I'm currently working as a graphic design intern in a company in Enugu. Enugu is the state in Nigeria. I just finished secondary school last year and started this internship 2 months ago. I applied as a junior designer, but they took me in as an intern to help me learn tools like Photoshop. I signed a contract with a monthly pay of 40,000 naira, believing I would be taught design software, but so far there's been no proper training, and the designer who trained me uses CorelDRAW instead. Right now, I handle social media design, including carousels for 5 of the company's subsidiaries, and it's a daily task. This leaves me with no time to learn Photoshop or improve my skills. We work 20 days a month, excluding most Saturdays, but every third Saturday is a compulsory sports day. When I calculate my daily pay, subtracting transport and feeding, it's hard to cope. Despite this, they're expecting me to pay for a Photoshop course on my own. I'm thinking of meeting with HR to discuss a possible salary increase, but I don't know how best to approach it. Please give me some advice. All right, thank you very much, Divine, for that question. Now, Divine, you can talk with your HR and you can try to negotiate a salary increase. You can do that, but you have to be careful. For this step you are thinking of taking not to cost you more than what you desire. So you desire a salary increase, but this step you are thinking of taking, asking HR for a salary increase as an intern who has just graduated from secondary school, not a university, secondary school, and they are paying you 40K a month, and they are training you, whether they are training you Photoshop or not, they are training you. You need to be careful not to lose everything altogether because of one thing that you want. And this is where I need to say something here, addressing Divine and any other person listening. I think the world has become so polarized that we think it's easy out there. I hear too many people that are under paid employment. Paid employment gets such a bad rap because they think it's easy out there. You see, a chick, that means the child of a bird in the nest that stays there, just in the nest, would complain that the mother is taking too long to bring just one worm. Just one worm. Take the mother several hours. Just one fish. They don't understand what it takes to locate a worm and what it takes to hunt for a fish. And this is what I see with a lot of people that have paid employment. They don't understand how hard it is out there. And I need to break that mentality. A lot of people complain about their jobs. I have worked as an entrepreneur where I have to think every day about where money is going to come from. You don't know the heart palpitations that come with that positioning. For everybody that is running a business, I salute you. For everybody that is running a business and employing people, I double salute you. And for someone that has a business, employing people, and you can still take on interns, I totally respect you. Your level of confidence. I don't care how much your company is making. Because that's, in fact, I'll go to another level. People that are taking interns and they're even paying them. I totally salute you. No matter how much your company is making, that you can take people in to train them, even though their hands are not strong. I pray that God will bless you. I feel a lot of employees are entitled. And that's what happens when we spend too much time on social media. We have our heads in the cloud. That is easy out there. It's easy. It's not just a worm. Why is this bird taking so long to bring out a worm and leaving me in this boring nest? You think the nest is boring because you're not out in the jungle. It's when a bird falls out of the nest that it realizes that it has become food in itself for other wild animals. Look, Divine, you have a lot going for you. You just don't know it. A lot. You just finished from secondary school, and I hope I read that right. From secondary school in Nigeria. You just finished from secondary school last year. And you are able to get a paid internship job in Nigeria. Secondary school last year, paid internship this year. Paid internship to learn. I don't care whether it's Photoshop. I think you're looking at the wrong thing. To learn, someone is paying you to learn. I need you to repeat those words after me. Someone is paying you to learn. When you repeat those words and they come out of your mouth, you would realize how blessed you are. Somebody is paying you to learn. Don't let the devil lie to you. You are more blessed than disadvantaged. You just finished from secondary school. I know too many people. If you give me an exercise book, 60 leaves, I can write on every line the amount of people I know that graduated from university and do not have a job. If you give me another exercise book, I can tell you people I know that graduated from university and are earning 30K, 25K a month in Nigeria. So number one, I want to applaud your employee or your employer. I want to applaud them and I pray that God will bless them. I don't care whatever you're saying about them not teaching you, them not doing, you work 20 days a week. No, those things don't matter. Unless you are super skilled, and you don't sound like you're super skilled. That's not an insult. I'm just saying that because you're still there to learn. You're not teaching people. You're there to learn. And you're being paid 40K. That's not a low amount. 40K assured every month. 40K assured every month. Assured every month. I'm an entrepreneur and their months have gone. I've not made up to 40K a month. 40K. Some month, absolutely nothing. A lot of people take for granted the blessing it is to have something assured. It gets such a bad rap because you listen to too many motivational speakers. Something assured doesn't limit your life. Something assured, something guaranteed allows you to plan better. Such a blessing. I'll be honest with you. At this stage in my life, what I would do for something assured, I don't know. I'm telling you, I need something assured in my life right now. If I get 40K assured, I'll be very happy. You get it assured out of secondary school. Where is the problem here? I don't see any problem. So first faulty mentality is that you do not see your blessing. And that might be because of the people you're hanging around with, telling you how much they're paying you. They're laughing at you, 40K, stuff. They're not even teaching you. Number two, you have the wrong expectation. Faulty expectation. You want to learn a particular tool. You want to learn Photoshop, not knowing that the company Adobe is struggling for its life right now. Adobe is struggling. People don't know this. But we're still rushing saying we want to learn that software. Adobe struggling. That's why they are so keen on subscription right now. They are mopping up money everywhere because they know their days are numbered. Companies like Canva kicking them out. The concept of AI kicking them out. We don't get this. You don't get it. Nobody cares what you use to design anymore. Photoshop, Illustrator, CorelDRAW, Figma, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are no longer living in the 1990s or the early 2000s. This is 2025, where design has become easier. Design is a high-level skill, I'll have you know. It's a high-level skill. But a lot of us are applying it on the lowest level, lowest application, which is pushing of pixels, which app I'm using, which software I'm using. Do you know Canva is today the most valuable design startup? The most valuable in the world today is by far Canva. And what's Canva's mission? Canva's mission is to make sure that the ordinary man is able to push pixels to a point where it is satisfactory, it suffices, it works. That is their mission. To make sure that there's no difference between the Photoshop user and the person that doesn't know how to use Photoshop. And here you are thinking that an internship is about learning how to use Photoshop. You're wasting that time. You will learn how to use Photoshop and you will realize that nobody cares whether you use Photoshop. There was a time it didn't make sense to be a mobile phone user. People used to laugh at them. And I used to have them sign up in my design academy. The first two, someone would tell me, in fact, when I started my design academy, and I'll come back to this, my design academy, very important. When I started my design academy, I put conditions. I was interviewing people. The first edition I did, I said, if you don't have a laptop, you don't have CorelDRAW, you don't have Photoshop, please don't join. Then the world started changing. Canva came up, and I started seeing what people were doing with their phone. With their phone. No laptop, no software, no computer software, everything app. And everybody thought Canva cannot last. It cannot work. The ordinary man cannot design like the professional. That is not true. Every day, the ordinary man is designing like the professional. And from the second edition of my design course training, I opened it up. I said, look, I'm welcoming you. If you're a mobile phone designer, don't ever call yourself a mobile phone designer. You're a designer, full stop. In fact, I will go as far as saying, if you are not beginning to design with your phone and detaching from your laptop, your work is endangered. You are going the wrong direction. If you cannot carry out design from beginning to end with that thing called a mobile device in your hand, and majority of what you do is on your laptop, you are an endangered species of designer. You will not exist in the next 2 years. And that is me being very optimistic. Next 2 years, you won't exist. That's if you exist by the end of this year. The mobile phone designer, in quote, is now the archetype of the designer of the future. Photoshop. Adobe will blush hearing that somebody is still pressing and trying to learn their software. I'm telling you, they'll be shocked. Adobe will be shocked. Because you know how many people have stopped using it? Are stopping by the day. They're stopping by the day. Corel Draw. Illustrator. Sometime last year, a friend of mine introduced me to a platform, an AI platform called Ideogram. I'm not advertising it. I'm not telling you to even join because they are messing it up right now. They are beginning to sell too much. So they are losing people. But they started out very good. Good positioning. But they became desperate to make money. And now they are losing. I don't use Ideogram anymore. But then Ideogram opened my eyes to possibilities of designing without your laptop. Designing from A to Z with your phone. Ideogram. Maybe on the Telegram group, for those on the Telegram group, I would share with you some designs I made with Ideogram. I'll share with you some typographic design I made with Ideogram. And I might share with you some I made using Photoshop. I shared with people in my design course. I shared with them. I let them just look at the difference. Look at the difference. AI and software, Photoshop. One took me like 5 days. The other took me just about 5 to 10 minutes of prompting. Prompting. That's the future. Clients are going to become more impatient because the process is going to be made faster. Don't you understand? Process will be made faster. Clients will become more impatient. Clients will understand how to use Canva. So Divine, what I'm telling you right now is you are looking at the world from a wrong perspective. Number one, you are blessed. As somebody is paying you to learn, you are blessed. You're an intern and you're a paid intern. What you should be looking at is not what you're looking at. You're looking at the software. When you should be looking at how they write copy for social media. Learn how to write copy for social media because those things will matter more than the software. Learn how to write copy. Everything I design for social media, look at the hierarchy. Look at the principles. How do they arrange their photos? How do they place their information? How do they market? How do they copy? How do they take photos? How do you structure a business? They've put you on the inside, but you're still thinking about small things. You are on the inside, but you're still talking about small things. You are living in a palace, but then you're still trying to grab crumbs from the floor when there's food around you. But the problem is your perception of food. You are thinking like a pixel pusher, not like a creative. Software doesn't matter. The softwares don't matter anymore. Start watching what they are doing as a business. And that is what you can use to run your business or use to inform the next business that you are going to be employed in. That they'll say, this guy is a valuable staff. What he just contributed was a good idea, but that idea came from where you are working right now. Trust me, businesses are not asking when they have their business meetings, their weekly meetings. So what's the new update on Photoshop right now? Nobody asks that. Nobody cares. Learn about marketing. Learn about social media languaging, copywriting. Learn about workplace hierarchy. Learn about winning contracts, communication. If you can even ask them, they're going to do a presentation, follow them. Not everything is, they're not paying me enough to do this. You're an intern, for crying out loud. I think we even need to stop paying interns. I really advocate for interns to stop being paid, because they become entitled and they're not learning what they should learn anymore. You calculate transport, you calculate feeding. Look, those things are emotional things. Can you transport? Can you feed? Because on a good day, you're an intern. They shouldn't be paying you on a good day. So they are feeding you and stuff. What you're thinking about is what is left over, but there shouldn't be much left over because you are an intern. You are learning. Don't you understand? You are learning. So you need to start thinking differently. Don't let this thing about software make you lose all the potential opportunities that are waiting for you there, or that are open to you where you are. There are opportunities open to you where you are. As you make those carousels, look at how they are making the carousels. How do they write their information? Look at that. Improve other skills, because design skill is very abundant. And design skill is almost as at a click right now. So you need to augment it with other skills. Other skills. Spend less time calculating what is left over. Spend more time really learning. It's just for a period. You are fresh out of secondary school, so you are definitely not in your 30s. You are probably in your early 20s. Why are we so obsessed about money? Do we have family structures that are so lacking that secondary school is already thinking about how much I'm making, when you should be experiencing and venturing out? And you're even a lucky one that has 40K at the end of the month. Do you have children? Do you have a wife? I know some of us have parents that have put too much on us very early. That's a disadvantage, to be honest with you. I wish parents will do that less. I really wish. Look at this young man. Very blessed. But he doesn't see his blessing. Designers need to stop being pixel pushers. I talk about my design course a lot. And I can tell you authoritatively, there is no design course like my design course. There is none. At least in Nigeria, there's none. Because people that come to my design course, ask any of them. I never taught anybody Illustrator for no. There's no class like how to use Illustrator. None, none at all. I don't teach people because I'm not deluded. My eyes are open. All those things don't matter anymore. I teach them how to think, how to pay attention to detail, tell a story, interpret a brief, present a job. Then we answer design business questions. I teach them principles, not software, not packages. And I would advise anybody to sign up for my course. That's the truth. I would advise anybody, if you're a designer out there, sign up for my course. It's never too late. Classes are recorded. There's always a class I can put you in. In fact, I'm not going to be doing cohorts anymore like that. If you're interested, I'll just put you in a class that has existed before, and then you you listen to all the audio, you see all the assignments, you practice them, you can send them to me personally. I'll correct you, ask me questions, but I'll just be placing people into already existing cohorts right now. So if you're interested in joining, please join. Because this mentality of I want to learn Photoshop is leading you to nowhere. You will learn the Photoshop and then you realize that the whole world can work. What you are doing with Photoshop, they can do it even faster with their phone. You need to learn better as a designer how to think. That's what people are paying for. That's what people are paying for. I'm confused. Orange, yellow. Why should I use yellow over orange? Have I used too much orange? This font that I'm using, is it a good font? Should I use a serif font, a sans serif font? When you can talk to clients about, those small things that Canva doesn't talk to them about. Although ChatGPT can tell them, that's the truth. But a lot of them do not even know how to ask the questions in ChatGPT. So just look at the flyer they've created in Canva. Doesn't look right. They don't know what's up with it. But now ask you as a designer, what do you think? And you can articulate. That is what people pay for. So, as I said at the beginning of this reply or answer to your question, you can go to HR. You might go to HR, but then you might open the eyes of the company to seeing that you don't really see what you have. And they might question, do we really need this guy? Do we really need him? Is it really worth an extra 10K? And that's the question you must ask yourself. Are you bringing in that much money to the company? Are you easily replaceable? If they told you, go, would they struggle to find someone like you? That's what you ask yourself before approaching HR. Because HR is not there for your good. HR is there to protect the company, not to protect your interest. People must understand that. People think HR is there. Was never established to protect your interest. HR was established to protect the interest of the company. So some of you think HR is your friend, they're fellow staff like you. No, they're like Gestapo. They're like spies. You understand? That's the truth. I'll tell you the truth about HR. You understand? But if you go to HR themselves, we advise you. They will advise the boss. The boss might be considering to increase your salary. They're the ones that say, "Sir, this guy is just an intern. We can find somebody else." So be careful. Be very careful. Be very careful. That's my advice to you, Divine. That's my honest advice to you and to any other person that is listening in on this. As I said, if you want to ask questions, reach out to me via my WhatsApp number. If you want to join the Telegram group, reach out to me via my WhatsApp number. If you want to join any of my design academies, you are a creative, you are a designer, you want to have an experience of where design is going and to learn design without having to actually learn software, to learn how to create, how to think, how to come up with good ideas, then you can also contact me on WhatsApp. But that's my answer to your question, Divine. All the best and think about your decision well.